Well, hello everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so very much for joining me. Tonight, we are taking a closer look into one detail that could reveal just how the porch guy, the person outside of Nancy Guthrie's home, may have been in his backpack. The FBI footage shows the individual approaching the house and a backpack that looks bulky and heavily packed. But what is it inside? We're going to take a closer look at that. Also, the Wall Street Journal has a bombshell of a report. They overlooked so much stuff allegedly in the beginning of Nancy Guthrie's case. It is shocking. We're going to talk about all that and a whole lot more on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plans.
Thank you, Miss Patty.
Just watch me judged by the gloss, not the cost. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm in a rainbow storm, dressed in truth and power.
Miss Cindy, appreciate you. That's right, giving up. Hello, Miss Sandra from Hick. Miss Jennifer. Let's go.
Hold up, lights on, chat in the room, another late night, and another headline blooming. Coffee going cold, but the story got heat, and one little detail keep tapping my screen. Coming in clutch, when the timeline bends, we don't just scroll, we connect loose ends. Somebody said, nah, that's probably enough, but the chat said, Justin, we're coming in clutch. Run that back, don't rush that part. Something felt wrong from the very first start. Different day, same shaky excuse, and the math ain't mathin' when we check the proof. I'm not here to play detective for fame, I'm here when the story starts changing names. One clip, one call, one post too much, and the whole room knows we're coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, every fact stay loud. Truth don't hide when we bring the crowd. Screens lit up and the chat don't sleep. We dig real deep where the stories get steep. Pearls in the chat, lights in the back. Somebody better explain why the story went flat. You can dodge one question, maybe dodge two. With the internet clock, what you said don't cue. Wait, say that again, you said it was there, then it wasn't back then. You said you forgot, but the record got saved. Now the chat's wide awake and the room just changed.
Coming in clutch when it all gets strange, when the facts get buried and the tone starts change. We don't need drama, the truth does enough, that's why they pull up, we're coming in clutch.
Late night crew, yeah, we built this thing. One live stream turned to a whole damn ring. Members in green miles holding it down. chat moving like a small town crowd. No fake hype, no lazy spin, just one more clue and we're back again. If it don't sit right, we don't let it slide. We put the detail right up on live.
Coming in clutch, say it one more time. Whole room locked on the very next line. From the first red flag to the final touch, you know where to be, we're coming in clutch.
When the screen fades out and the night gets still, somebody somewhere knows truth comes real. We'll be right here when the next facts drop. Coming in clutch and we don't just stop.
Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so very much for joining me. Good to see you all. Today is August 3rd, 2026. It is currently 7:14 p.m. in the East Coast of the United States. You better be big fancy guy. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you, Miss Catherine. Appreciate you for the floating heart. Appreciate your love. You good. We really do appreciate you guys. Good to see everyone. Tonight we're talking about the Nancy Guthrie case out of Pima County, Arizona. And I think it's the Wall Street Journal put out a damning article that is very interesting about some things that they may have ignored in the very beginning, like the blood that we're going to be talking about in the Nancy Guthrie case and a lot more. Also, thank you, T. Good to see you. Thank you so much for the makeup brush, my darling. Appreciate you. And we're going to be talking about the suspect's backpack, known as Porch Guy. What did he have in his backpack? We're going to dig a little bit deeper into that as well. 603. It's not. It's smoke and mirrors, baby. I just know how to paint. That's all. You're sweet, though. Thank you. Over with BS with nanos and no transparency, says Ratui. And I think we've been over it for a minute. You know what I mean? I think we've all been over it for a minute. And yeah, a lot to go over today. So get comfortable, grab yourself your favorite snack or beverage, and we're going to get into it. But before we start, if you would be so kind for the live chat and the replay crew, if you would hit that thumbs up, would greatly appreciate that. Also, if you would share this live stream out, hit that share button, copy that link, and drop it in any of your favorite social media. And if you would consider hyping this video on YouTube, you get 3 hypes a week. If you don't use it, you lose it. They are absolutely free, and you have to do it after the live stream on your mobile device, your phone, your tablet, or whatever is mobile. Thank you so much, Miss Wendy, for the sparkles. Appreciate you, babe. Good to see you. Hello, alumni. Good to see you, my dear. Thank you for the sundae. It was yummy. Appreciate you, my dear. He used those weeds on camera so it wouldn't cut his glove and leave DNA. Interesting. Coke Zero. I've got Pepsi. Reptile, thank you so much for the 6 jewels. Thank you for the makeup brush, darling. Appreciate you. GT, thank you. Coming in clutch at 200 jewels. We be jamming. Appreciate you, my dear. Good to see you. Yeah, a lot to talk about, and we're going to get also about we're going to talk about a little bit more, because we talked the other night. I think it was Rujui. She gave, thank you, darling. I appreciate you very much. I think it was Ratui. She we had this what are they called, like the link blocks or whatever. I got a little bit more information on that, and we're going to go over that. I've got the receipt on that as well, so get ready for that. Hey Donna, thank you so much, babe. Appreciate you. Very kind of you, my dear. Thank you so much. Hello, Miss Sherry, Miss Patty, Jennifer, I'm out, Miss Sherry, Gray Wolf, good to see you. Jennifer Cook, how you doing? Smiley Miley, how you doing, babe? Good to see you. Miss Tina. Everyone rolling up on here. I'm a Diet Pepsi girl too. I'll drink either. I kind of switch both, to be honest with you, but I drink Diet Pepsi more than anything. He or she responded to one of my comments. 1 second. Okay. Let me, guys, do you mind if I just fix something really quickly in my back office here? I think someone was blocked. I'm gonna just 1 second, guys. I do apologize for this. I do apologize. Sorry. Okay, I think it's under customization. Give me 1 second. Okay. Dashboard. Community. Ooh, they switched it up. I don't know if I'll be able to do it now or not. Let's see here. They might have switched it up. I apologize. I need to unblock someone, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it right now. Oh wait, I think I can. Ooh. I'm sorry, I don't like to do this live, but okay. All right, nobody should be blocked now. Everybody should be absolutely good now. I apologize for that. My darlings, Ginger, how you doing, girl? Justin went on early. Yeah, I went on early and just might as well, right? Okay, let's get it started. Where should we start? We usually start with the smaller things first here. Let's talk about Nancy Guthrie ransom notes released follows the Unamur precedent that cracked case. Experts say Fox did a really interesting little interview here that I want to show. And they compare it with the Unamur. I can't say that word on here. And I thought this was a little bit interesting. Oh, thank you so much. Nice, Murray. Good to see you here. Appreciate you very much. How you doing? Oh, thank you for the Cash App, baby. That's so sweet. Appreciate you, Miss Pam. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Thank you so much for the Cash App, babe. Appreciate the support.
Sail through the heart.
We gotta just get through this Viking commercial. The Viking Cruise Line. Have you guys ever been on a cruise? They're nice. Some of them are, some of them aren't, in my opinion, but just depends. Viking is the top cruise line. They're like really expensive though. Very expensive. I feel like I would get seasick in a small boat. Oh no. You wouldn't get that seasick, I don't think. Okay, here we go. Let's go.
Is speaking out on the case, revealing why he hasn't held regular press conferences and his coordination with the federal authorities.
It's always been a good relationship. You know, we've been a member of what is known as the Southern Arizona Violent Crime Task Force, headed up by the FBI, for decades. It's not just a great relationship, it's one that's very valued. Press conferences are actually more designed for when you have a very specific piece of information that you want out in front and you need help with. We do that. In this regard, we felt like just a media release was sufficient.
And as questions persist about how the search was handled, a new Wall Street Journal report is highlighting some of the early missteps.
So they are When you're live. Sorry about that, guys. My USB just failed me, so I apologize. I had to go literally run and get a USB really quick to hook up my mic. I apologize for that. So, apologize. This is live, so it happens when you're live sometimes. When it comes to this Wall Street technical problems, when it comes to this Wall Street Journal, it was behind a paywall, and you had to be like a subscriber for it. But Fox, and I've got the deets on it.
Investigators allegedly made, stating they failed to seal off the property with police tape to protect sensitive crime scene evidence.
Now, that's a big one, right? I'm trying to think of her name, who was a reporter in Tucson, and then she went to True Crime Junkie. Can't think of her name right now, but she said when they got there, you could just walk right up to the property. You could just literally walk up right to the property, and that is going to really hurt in court when there's an arrest. It's Brianna Whitney. Yeah, thank you for that. That's going to really hurt. Not only people walking up, because there was literally no true crime tape, or caution tape rather, not true crime tape. There was no, there was also cleared really very quickly. And wait till you hear about the blood as well. Of course, absolutely terrible. People were walking all over the property, stepping by the blood on the front porch. Absolutely ridiculous. No crime scene tape. You could tell that they were very inexperienced, in my opinion. When the ransom letter was sent, that's when Savannah made the first Instagram post about we'll pay the next day, and that's the same day LE went back to the house. The FBI. I'll never forget when the FBI came to the house, because I was bitching. I was like, why did they clear that? They literally just got there. There was no need to clear it. It's not like a family was in that home or anything like that. They had nothing but time in this particular house, which is such a blessing. Social Butterfly, thank you so much for the sun, darling. Appreciate you very much. Thank you really for your support. I just got to change back my name and what it was when I figure out how to do it. Hello, lovely pearls. Yes, it's right there, just on your profile there. You just click it, and easy to do.
It's allowing reporters, live streamers, and Amazon and pizza delivery drivers entry to the porch. Investigators spent precious hours deciding whether Nancy was kidnapped or lost. Joining us now to discuss this is retired FBI agent and certified crisis negotiator.
Hold on, what did that say?
Jason Pack. Jason, thanks for coming to the porch.
Investigators spent precious hours deciding whether Nancy was kidnapped or lost. Now that makes you really think about Savannah saying, we kept telling them, this is not her. This is not her. She's not that woman. She can't move around. So that's interesting.
Investigators spent precious hours deciding whether Nancy was kidnapped or lost. Joining us now to discuss this is retired FBI agent and certified crisis negotiator Jason Pack. Jason, thanks for coming on. Do you think that if the Pima County Sheriff's Office did things differently in those initial days and hours, that we would be having a different conversation about this investigation?
Well, Ashley, good morning. We certainly remember the pizza delivery guy showing up when we were all watching that. So having said that, though, you do need to jump on that and treat it as the worst case scenario until the evidence proves otherwise. And I say that because the FBI was lucky to be able to get the Nest camera video back.
And he's absolutely right. Especially, we see these missing children's cases all the time, and they think the child just walked off, and they do not treat it as the worst case scenario. It needs to be considered worst case scenario until it's not. That way you cross every T and dot every I. Goose, thank you so much for the floating heart, babe. Appreciate you very, very much. Good to see you. Did you hear that NBC and a few other outlets were not allowed to mention the family's name, that they were suspects? Yes, I did. I sure did. Sure did.
So who knows, who's to say what might have happened, but the earlier you can get those pieces of evidence secured and preserved, the better chances you are of having better leads.
And, you know, with the sheriff coming out and saying there is a good relationship with the FBI, I don't doubt that on a lot of cases. On this one in particular, though, there was a lot of finger pointing. So it makes you wonder why he's coming out saying that now. Can the FBI take this over, or are there going to be roadblocks with the jurisdiction there?
Well, they have what's called concurrent jurisdiction, which means kidnapping is a federal violation, and the FBI can and will investigate that. So usually what happens in cases like this, and the sheriff was right, that the Southern Arizona Violent Crime Task Force, there's FBI agents, Pima County Sheriff's deputies, Tucson.
And this is why, Ratui, a lot of big media nowadays do not like us, YouTubers, TikTokers, Facebookers as well, because we don't give a 3-minute clip, right? We really dive into it, and we don't have this agenda. And truthfully, a lot of times we get more views than them.
Police, they all work together every day. And so the fact that they're working together now is good, because you don't want to meet people for the first time on a case. So I think they will be able to work together. Usually what happens is you figure out what piece of evidence is the best, and then you say, are we going federal or are we going to go state? And that's a prosecutorial decision. Right now, we don't see those things publicly. And generally speaking, the sheriff usually talks to someone like an ASAC, Assistant Special Agent in charge of the Tucson office. That's usually his main contact. There's been a lot made about him and the FBI director maybe not talking, but usually those relationships are through the special agent in charge of the Phoenix office and the assistant special agent there in Tucson. So they do work together well. This case,
Jeet says a very interesting thing here. And she says, I can accept that the family assumed kidnapping, but for ransom part that the family agreed upon instantaneously when Cameron said, that is wild for me, before any mention of a ransom note. Crazy. It really is. And I have to agree. I have to agree with you on that. You just don't hear of ransom anymore. It's not something that you normally hear of in the United States. In movies maybe, but not like this. So I agree. Why did they say she's been kidnapped for ransom? I understand that they knew that. I agree totally that they were like, this is not my mom. She can't walk. Something's really bad here going on. But the kidnap for ransom specifically, right? Specifically the word ransom. It's weird. It really is.
Case has been nothing usual has ever happened in this case. So everything has been different here. I think they will be able to work together, and holding a secret like this is kind of like taking a hot casserole out of the oven. You got to put that down eventually. Somebody will tell somebody the wrong thing, and that person will call. And I think that's why you saw.
Yep, that's right. That's right. Cameron said about the ransom note. Then literally the next day, the ransom was sent. Sure was. Hey, Adele.
On the 6-month anniversary, them putting this information out, hopefully to get that in front of the right eyes. It's all for one person who may recognize some of the linguistic fingerprints that the notes contain.
So just really quickly, it can be a yes or no. You don't think the FBI is going to take this over away from the Pima County Sheriff?
They're working it jointly. They're never going to take over.
Okay. So investigators are hoping these newly released ransom notes could spark the tip that breaks the case. The first note reading in part, quote, "You will not be able to contact me from here on out." There.
Again, I find it Simply Real says, and what kind of brother puts such guilt on his sister? I support Cameron. I don't think he has anything to do with it. in my opinion, but he thinks she's to blame for the kidnapping. I think, in my opinion, and again, I'm not saying A and T are involved in it whatsoever, but what I am saying is we know that A and T messaged Sheriff Doofy, and he was pretty much reading off the first press conference off his phone, right? So it was like he was reading just what they wanted out there, not what they found. And I feel like A&T contacted Cameron and gave that message as well. Just my opinion. Tina, very generous of you, my darling. Good to see you. Toys for Remy. I bet she's gotten taller. Thank you so much, my love. Really appreciate you. Very kind of you, Miss Tina. Thank you so much, love. She's really growing. She really is. If I had time, I need to do videos with her and stuff, but it's a lot whenever you've got yourself and a monkey and she's constantly trying to like pull in the camera and stuff. So it's a lot. Maybe a letter was left there but they're not talking about it. Well, I think that they would tell us, in my opinion. I think that they would tell us if there was a ransom note there. Maybe not. I mean, they told us that her hearing aids and everything else was there.
There will be no negotiation.
That's possible.
Do not play games. Law enforcement will not be able to help you. And then a follow-up note read in part, quote, "We never intended to hurt her. She perished shortly after she was taken." Your thoughts on this, Jason?
Well, if you look at the first note, it's addressed directly to Savannah, and then the second note is to the whole Guthrie family. So there's some linguistic patterns in there that say the person may know how to write business-related emails and writings. But, you know, in order to get a really good picture of that, when we do these exemplars, as we call them, you need way more information than what these two notes provide. So while we think these are good leads, somebody hopefully will recognize the style of this writing and call authorities.
Yeah. Okay. Jason, thank you so much for your insight on this. I appreciate it this morning.
Thanks, Ashley.
Guys, we have a poll, by the way. What is most likely to produce a breakthrough in the Nancy Guthrie case, in your opinion? Is it someone recognizes the porch guy? Is it DNA produces a match? Is it digital evidence finds someone? And in one chat, it is neck and neck. 23% someone recognizes porch guy, 23% DNA produces a match, 26% says DNA evidence finds someone, and 28% says unsure. And the other one, it's very similar. 26% someone recognizes porch guy, 28% DNA match, 25% digital evidence finds someone, and 21% unsure. Make sure you guys hit that poll, and want to hear your opinions on that. Mods, if you will make sure I in that poll at the end of the live, if you can. If they are caregivers of her, if it were my mother, I wake up at 6 a.m. every morning. I would check on my mother every morning, even if I had to drive 30 minutes, an hour. That's a very good point, Deals. Very good point. Yeah, like, you know, before we have routines every day, right? Before my grandmother raised me, but before she lived with me, before, you know, she passed, I took care of her for a few years before she passed. I would call her just as soon as I woke up. I would get my coffee, call her, make sure she's okay. What time did this start going on? You know, you would think they would be up by 10 o'clock, right? But them not taking her hearing aids shows me she did not she got to the door and they never intended for her to come back. By them taking her hearing aid shows me she didn't get to the door. Oh, yeah, you would think she would put her hearing aids in, but I don't know. I mean, the way Savannah makes it sound like it's like they were literally over her bed. Now, all right, guys. Someone on X put this video out, and I just want to be upfront with you. I cannot confirm this, but I wanted to show you because I thought it was interesting. Tommaso's brother. He does have a brother, from what I understand, right? Does have a brother. And wanted to show you this. Supposedly Tommaso's brother right here. Again, I cannot verify this, but I wanted to show you guys. We got some pictures and stuff like that. It's in Italy. My Pianoforte Rabilla with a glass. Okay. I can't. And a little grizzly bear. And the spaghetti place restaurant is called Slutty Spaghetti. I feel like I could eat there. Yeah, Slutty Spaghetti. How about that? Have you ever ate slutty spaghetti? Sounds like a party to me. And we have another picture right there. My mom hated me calling her at 2:30, so normally I get her voicemail. What's wrong with the little slutty spaghetti? Slutty, slutty spaghetti. What are you doing? You guys think he looks like Tommaso? Do you think he looks like Tommaso? Yes. I'm so honored they named a dish after us. Goodness gracious. Okay. And then, I mean, I can see. Look at those. Let me make this bigger. 1 second. Look at these eyebrows. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. What do you think? I still wonder, did T walk her in? No, I don't think he did. They said everything was left there, meds, phone, and hearing aids. Yeah. From what I understand, she just got out of the car. Door went up. The lights were, like the headlights were on. So yeah, I guess she could see to walk and went in the door. So, Lisa, thank you for the Sunday, my love. Appreciate you very much. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much, love. He looks like Tommaso with hair. Yeah, I think it's allegedly his younger brother. Very nice eyebrows this guy has. Very nice eyebrows. Okay, where's my button? Oh, let me show you here. And they write on here, right here. This is Leonardo Cioni, known as the, quote, tall chef, end quote. He is reportedly a brother or relative of Tommaso Cioni, and like Tommaso, is from San Giovanni Valdarno, a Tucson town midway between Florence and Arezzo. Leonardo now runs a restaurante in Rome. Some of these possible family connections could previously be traced through Tommaso's Instagram page. Perhaps Tommaso and Annie spent some time in Italy this summer. As the search for the mother, Nancy Guthrie, continues. Hopefully, we'll hear more from them soon. And look at the slutty spaghetti. Let me see here. I can't get over that. Sorry, I'm childish. Alicia, thank you so much for the flower, darling. Appreciate you very much. Good to see you. Who the heck doesn't walk a senior into the house? Well, I think it's not very gentlemanly, and I'm sure that he feels really bad about that, right? Okay, now, do you guys remember, Justin, are they really searching for Nancy? Who's they? I bet you it is Authentic Spaghetti. I act like a 12-year-old boy about jokes. Hello, me too. Pretty much. The hand gestures, eyeballs. Ooh. He's known as the tall chef. So, Justin, do we know when the first ransom note was sent out? Yes, it was sent out the 3rd. February 3rd. Steve Carter, thank you so much for the hiding, my darling. Appreciate you very much. Oh, what do you got? Is that your doggy? You kissy? It's so cute. What's that, Peggy? Don't know about what, babe. Okay, so look at this. Do you guys remember Ashley saying that the Pima County deputies said that they were looking at allegedly Tommaso? Was that before or after Cameron told Savannah it might be her fault? From what we understand, it was allegedly Cameron told her just, within hours of Nancy going missing. Isn't Annie a witch, Wiccan, or some type of paganism? Some don't practice only light witchcraft. Some of them witches practice black magic too. So my concern is whatever rituals Annie has done. I don't know. She doesn't. She seems a little Wiccan, and that's what people say. But anyway, all right. So listen to this. It's a really short video. I want you to listen to this.
Knew about the locations of them.
Hold on. Is this fast? Is this sped up? No. Okay. Hold on.
Plural cameras smashed so that the suspect likely knew about the locations of them, but that the car belonging to the sister of Savannah Guthrie, Annie Guthrie, was towed, impounded, and taken into evidence.
Now, listen to this. Okay, so this, oh, damn, what did I do? Okay, I think I got it. So Nancy, or what's her name? Ashley, the wheels on the bus go round and round. Sorry. She says she's telling us about these lights. She's telling us about the car of theirs being taken in as well. These are, what her sources are giving her very early into this investigation.
And this is the wording. It's very important. The wording is very important. He said they now believe the son-in-law may be the prime suspect. Those are the words. Son-in-law may be the prime suspect at this point.
That the son-in-law may be the prime suspect at this point. Right? Now, that's a bold statement. Right? That's pretty bold for the police source to tell Ashley, right? Why did they think that? If that is indeed true, why would they think that?
son-in-law may be the prime suspect. Those are the words. Son-in-law may be the prime suspect at this point. And I'm very mindful. I covered the Elizabeth Smart case. I was out in Salt Lake City for 5 weeks while Elizabeth Smart had vanished. And I recall specifically a lot of language saying Ed Smart is likely the prime suspect here. And so you got to be really mindful that, as you know, Megan, you're a lawyer. Police investigations start in the middle of the circle and they go out in concentric, plural, cameras smashed so that the suspect.
Okay. So, and I think Ashley gives a great example there. The Ed's, they were blaming in the Elizabeth Smart case. They were blaming Ed Smart. I never thought Ed did it, ever. He just is not the personality at all, in my opinion. But allegedly, the police were really looking at him. And generally, it does start with the last people you're with. Right? So my question is, did they initially think Tommaso was the prime suspect and then not? And did they lose valuable time? And his brother, yeah. But what makes me question things like this is thinking about, well, if I was a policeman, I wouldn't just think Ed Smart would have been a suspect or Tommaso would have been a suspect unless there is some corroborating evidence to show that they're suspects. So my question is, did they have anything on Tommaso that was weird? Was his alibi not right? Did he leave the home that night after he dropped Nancy off? Was there some mistruths? I don't know. But her little sister saw someone come in their room. She just couldn't remember him at the time. Correct. Exactly. Last person to see her, and the way he answered the questions tipped it over the edge. I have to run. Oh, I hope you win $1 billion, girl. A gentleman would have walked her in, sure and safe. Yeah, I agree. We told the police about the text to Derek, or did the police find them? I think the police found them. And that's another thing. Very good thing, Marie. Think about this. They were able to find allegedly at least 3 people faking ransom notes. However, they haven't arrested this person that keeps sending TMZ the notes. Why are they not arresting this person as well? Why? Big question, right? Okay. Okay, let me show you this, guys. So, about this reporting that is coming out. Let me find it. What did I do with it? Ew. Okay. Here we go. 5 things that you didn't know about the Nancy Guthrie case, the Wall Street Journal, by Jared Midovich. And this is the first Wall Street Journal piece that publicly documented. And this is the Wall Street Journal saying this, that deputies ignoring the dried blood on Nancy's porch. I mean, I just want to cry for Savannah when I think of Nancy, of course. Like, ignoring the dried blood on the porch. AZ, allegedly, Annie is teaching in Vermont right now. I mean, can you imagine going to a crime scene of an 84-year-old woman, or, she's not home. The doors are open. The light is taken off the back. The camera is taken off. And the blood, sorry, 1 second. And the blood is still, 1 second, guys. Is gone. Ignoring blood, yeah. Brian did a video about the blood today. Yeah, we're going to get to some of that in just a minute. The home not being secured for 3 days. It was the home not being secured for 3 days, 72 hours, and it really wasn't secure anything under Pima County at all. It was not secured until the FBI got there. Honestly, don't think how they could ignore or even see the blood on the porch. It's just crazy. The surveillance plane sitting idle. So I guess there was they have this surveillance aircraft, and it just sat idle for, it doesn't say how long it sat idle for. Like I said, there really wasn't this great big search for Nancy. Yeah, the neighbors were looking, the police were canvassing, but it wasn't this huge search. Apparently, the lead detective on the case missed the blood on the porch, and he has a habit of doing things like this, and apparently he's in trouble. How is he a homicide lead detective and he's never solved a homicide? Miss, this is according to the Wall Street Journal. I guess with their sources, because allegedly they had no one to pilot the plane. That's right. I forgot about that. You're exactly right. Nanos either fired him or demoted him, allegedly. Forgot about that. That's absolutely right. It said for 3 hours the pilot pissed off Nanos, so he was on potty duty. It was something that they didn't have, because I remember listening to that in the body cam footage. The deputy not knowing how to operate the camera system. Now, I don't know which camera system he means. Does he mean body cam system? Does he mean cameras at the home? Regardless, if police don't know how to do it, they need to find somebody who does to get in there extremely quickly. If my mom goes missing, I'm not moving to another state or leaving the country. That is extremely odd. Competence rises to the highest level in Pima County. It really does. It's really, really sad. Did A&T call hospitals, friends, etc. before calling 911? Maybe it's just me, but I don't know where my mom is. Doors are propped open, broken floodlights, blood on porch. I'm calling 911 immediately. So allegedly, they looked in the neighborhood, canvassed the neighborhood first before calling 911. And they had no pilot for the plane. What the hell? Why isn't the media covering his possible indictment? Botched like a mofo. Bad. Nancy Guthrie sheriff hit with 176 million doll hairs lawsuit alleging dangerous incompetence. New York Post. Can you send that to me if you have it? 307-228-4906 or alljustice4 He was the undersheriff for Nanos. He fired him. The guy changed his last name. Nanos rehired him and put him in charge of the case. Just fucking sad. Every time you say that, I lose it. What? Doll hairs? Early investigative missteps that may have cost critical evidence. And, feel how you feel about Kash Patel, but he says the same thing. Even though Sheriff Doofy says, well, he may not have all the information. Bullshit. It's the FBI. Come on now. Trump spoke about this today as well. They canvassed the neighborhood before calling Ellie, allegedly, yes, with blood present in the house and their mom not in bed. Allegedly. That's allegedly. Yep. The doormat. Oh, it's bad. It's bad. Okay. What the Wall Street Journal article contains. Porch blood ignored. Wall Street Journal reported deputies saw dried blood on Nancy's porch and assumed it was from a minor bump or nosebleed, end quote. They did not initially treat it as evidence. I just want to put my fist through the screen right now. They didn't tell Ellie about the blood on the porch. And this, this is the thing. I want to be fair about this with Annie and Tommaso. When you are in such a panic like this, you may not initially see the blood. You may miss that. It's possible. So they canvassed the neighborhood looking for a woman who was barely mobile. Make it make sense. Well, yeah. Crime scene left open for days. The Wall Street Journal reported the home. Where was it here? Hold on 1 second. There we go. The Wall Street Journal reported that the home was not sealed for 3 days, allowing reporters, influencers, delivery drivers, neighbors, creators to walk through the area. Surveillance plane failure. Wall Street Journal reported that the sheriff's surveillance plane sat unused because the deputy on duty did not know how to operate the camera system. Oh, okay. So that's why it said, don't agree with what, Bertui. I'm still waiting to hear how A&T entered the home. You would have looked outside in that house. How could you not see the blood? I understand, but I also think sometimes when you're in a panic and you're just looking like everywhere, you can miss it. I'm not saying they did. Thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you very much. Let me look at that. There we go. Thank you, baby. Okay. But so with the plane here, the plane, the deputy on duty did not know how to operate the camera system. They had to call in another deputy, delaying launch until after 6:30 p.m. when it was already dark. Guys, you know what this shows, in my opinion? Gross incompetence of training. 8.5 hours or so later when it's already dark. So did they enter the house on the side gate? I don't know. Nanos turned all the good people away to help find Nancy. Just when you think you're ahead, it moves farther away. It's crazy. Guys, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, doing all that good stuff. Okay. Lost opportunity to track the suspect. Wall Street Journal explained that the delay likely cost investigators their best chance to track the suspect's vehicle, capture license plates, follow direction of travel, identify stops or drop-off points. Right? If they would have gotten a plane up in the air quickly, it could have really, really helped. The train guys are answering phones. Yeah. Because he, if you don't pretty much blow him, he's and kiss his ass for everything and or a yes man, he's not going to be there. He's not going to like you. It's just that simple. Why would they just go to Vermont, leave their house sitting? Very weird. I understand. I cannot provide a direct link copyright rules, but the article titled and citation above are exact, and you can find it by searching Wall Street Journal 5 Things You Didn't Know About the Nancy Guthrie Case. It's a paid advertisement, I believe. So that's why when I tried to get it, it was like you had to subscribe to it or whatever. Let me get to this little thing before we get into the other deeper stuff tonight. So my beautiful subscriber here, just in front, just emailed me or text me this. Nancy Guthrie Sheriff Doofy hit with $176 million doll hairs lawsuit alleging dangerous incompetence. I agree. Sheriff Chris Nanos, the embattled lawman leading the Nancy Guthrie investigation, has a new $176 million problem. Exel Melendez, 24, is suing Nanos and the Pima County Sheriff's Office after deputies SHOT and paralyzed him while responding to a phony swatted call. The second major lawsuit against the department in 2 weeks. The pew-pewing happened even though Melendez warned the sheriff's department that he was being targeted for swatting, and even though he posed no threat at the time, his lawyer said. Oh my God. Marilyn, thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you very much, love. Good to see you. So this kid was being swatted, and he told him that he was being swatted, and now he's paralyzed. Oh my God. What is wrong? I mean, they have no training. Guys, I would be scared to live in Pima County. Someone impersonating Melendez called the sheriff's department around 6 a.m. stating that his father had SHOT his sister. Deputies then smashed his bedroom window with a shovel and climbed inside. GUNS drawn. Melendez heard a commotion outside, woke his mom up, and then told her to hide. Then cowered behind her, behind a door with the family legally registered firearm. Officers heard 7 shots through the door, hitting him in the leg and spine. the legal notice said. Frame from body police camera footage showing Melendez peeking out from behind the door as police entered through the bedroom. Right there. Melendez was already on edge before the raid. He had been menaced by online hacker who threatened to call in a bogus BOB threat to his house, said his attorney, Dev Sethi. Melendez called 911, but the operator allegedly told him not to worry. Quote, the dispatcher told Melendez, quote, they can't just call SWAT on you. That's not how it works. And assured him that, quote, nothing is going to happen, end quote, Sethi said in a statement. The sheriff department then received a suspicious call to Melendez's house. They should have had some fucking notes on that account, on that address, which they determined to be fake. Officers alerted Melendez and assured him that, quote, he should be all right, end quote, promising to warn him if they receive any more calls to the address, according to the incident report obtained by his attorney. Less than 48 hours later, another swatting call came in, and the one ended with deputies opening fire and paralyzing Melendez. Sheriff Nanos is already facing another multi-million-dollar lawsuit over his allegedly botched investigation into the disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie. Of course, Carlos here. Carlos and others are seeking $2.5 million. If I just don't understand, like, let me see here. I think it's got a video. It's just so bad, man. So bad. Hey, Miss Dolores, love you too, Mama. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Okay, 1 second here. Warning, distressing content. Okay. This is the actual video of that. And, you know, you can't blame this guy. You cannot blame this guy because he thought, well, the sheriff said, you know, they're not going to bother me. And someone breaking in your house with a shovel, and you don't know what the hell's going on. Of course, you're going to grab your, right? Okay, can't play any more of that. Okay, Duffy is a big liability. Yeah, big ol' liability. All right, guys, let's get into some new things here. I'm going to go to our friend Brian Enton. Very interesting reporting he's got here that I want to talk about. Make sure you sub up to Brian Enton. Y'all ready for this? Make sure you're hitting the thumbs up, guys. Oh, it is Happy Farm Girl. Yeah. Let me give you that link to this, by the way. Let's see here. Copy. If you want to see that video in full. Okay. I've been a child welfare investigator for 20 years in multiple states. I can assure that I have far more training and investigation than the folks in Pima County, right? Alumni. So bad. Very bad.
The importance of dried blood found on Nancy's front porch The detectives arrived at Nancy's house in the late afternoon. For hours, they gave little regard to the dried blood on the front porch, said people familiar with the investigation to the Wall Street Journal. They suspected the blood might have come from some unrelated head bump, nosebleed, or other incidental injury. So I knew that and I've told you guys that there was time wasted, that they thought perhaps she had wandered off. But in terms of them just discounting the blood, that is not something that I've heard about until this Wall Street Journal report. So that's interesting and just really enough.
And again, it makes you, what Savannah said, no, we are telling them, they're not listening to us. You know, Nancy would never, ever walk off like this.
Another mistake made, according to the Wall Street Journal. It also talks a lot about Sheriff Nanos and mistakes that he made. It says his appointed head of homicide, Sergeant David Stivers, was reprimanded 2 months before Nancy's kidnapping for poor judgment, blamed for delays securing crime scene evidence in a homicide case. Personnel records from a public records request show. Charges in the homicide case were dropped for insufficient evidence. So I've told you guys about how
everyone did.
The homicide team was inexperienced, but they're talking about a specific case 2 months before Nancy's, where poor judgment was blamed for delays securing the crime scene evidence, and that homicide case was actually dropped.
Unbelievable.
So that's a specific case I hadn't heard about and pretty troubling. So I just wanted to give you the headlines from the Wall Street Journal piece. You remember Sheriff Nanos did like a slew of interviews over the last couple of days leading up to the 6-month mark. Again, he won't do an interview with me. I've tried. Hopefully at some point he will again. I mean, he did in the beginning, but for whatever.
Stop being a kitty cat, Sheriff Doofy, and talk to Brian Enton. Are you afraid of hard questions? He's respectful.
For whatever reason, I think he pretty much did an interview with everyone who asked except me. But it is what it is. But he said in several of these interviews that no one is off the table right now, that no one has officially been cleared, which a lot of people kind of zeroed in on for two reasons. One, because of the two guys who were detained, the one in Rio Rico and the other one, you know.
How do you say thank you to someone who just bought you a membership? You just say thank you to the person. That's all you do. You just say thank you.
Carlos and then Luke Daly. And it was surprising to hear him say that no one was cleared because we found no evidence that they were involved at all, despite them being detained, which he's still standing by that they're not cleared yet. And then also, you know, there's been all sorts of speculation about the family.
Well, this is the thing. I really think Savannah is angry about how this is being handled. And the reason I think she's angry is because she's not talking to Sheriff Doofy. She's not talking to Sheriff Doofy at all. And I think that's the supporting argument. She's only talking to the FBI.
Now, I've said from the beginning that, according to my sources, I have no indication that anyone in Savannah Guthrie's family is involved in Nancy's disappearance. And the sheriff said that early on too, but then said that nobody was cleared in several interviews. And then on Saturday put out his own video message, which I always think it's kind of interesting when like law enforcement or public officials put out these video messages of their own where like someone in their office is asking them questions, because it's like clearly not a real interview. I mean, it's like someone in the sheriff's office asking him the questions. But within that video, I guess you could call it an interview that was put out on Saturday on the sheriff's Instagram page. He spoke specifically about the family again not being suspects. So listen to this.
I can't be more clear. I said this earlier on, and
Sir, you're as clear as mud.
Say it again. The Guthrie family is not and have not been suspects in this investigation. We have talked with them, worked with them. They are not suspects. They are victims.
Not suspects.
Victims of a very horrific crime.
So that was the latest from the sheriff on Saturday. Okay. He put out like a 5-minute video message. Most of it.
Now tell me, Okay, let's do a poll. Do you still think family could be involved? Yes. No. It's either a yes or a no. Put a 1 in the chat if you think family could still be involved. Put a 1, or put a 2 if no. Or you can put a yes or no. Really? To me, I wonder, does family count as Tommaso? I don't know. The thing that really concerns me is how incompetent Pima County is. And I think that they were looking at Tommaso very hard in the beginning and missed critical time. He says the Guthrie family is listening to Guthrie. I'm just saying. What's Chris saying on it right now? I see. I'm kind of. Am I still suspicious of them? Yeah. But I'm less suspicious because of their incompetence in the beginning now. But that's just me. Nanos has been so inconsistent, I tend to go with the opposite of what he says. Yeah, same. Cops can lie to us, but they're not going to put out a full, the Guthrie family is not involved, in my opinion, if they're, because like if this goes to court and they would say, you even, Sheriff Doofy, you told the public that the Guthrie family was not involved. You told the public that. Yes, they can lie to you, but they generally don't lie to the public in a press statement. They just won't answer the question. Now, he's a special person. Nothing would surprise me. FBI will never say whether, he's anyone's involved. Yeah, that's what I said. His last name's not Guthrie. He says the Guthrie family. I don't know. A lot of people will have egg on their face if it isn't the family. I myself. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I can truly understand both ways, because we don't have the same tools, and we're not there as law enforcement. They have special things that they can, labs, technology that they can work with to rule people in, all that. Now, but what law enforcement did with going over to the Guthrie house, with forensics, with checking the neighbors, with taking their car for 40 some days, with going over to their house and then running back to Nancy's house looking for a phone and looking in the backyard. You can't blame the public for questioning that, in my opinion. Right? Anybody's going to question that. Why are you looking at them so hard? Right? That's just natural. So to me, it's not so much, like egg on the face or anything. I'm just not willing to put all my, pieces in one basket with this. It is 92% likely that to be the family at the age, some statistic I heard. Well, statistically, it's probably even more than that, the last person you're with. But that's statistics, and it doesn't mean it's, this case could be the 8%, right? It could very well be the 8%. I think the perp is trying to set someone up. I don't know. I do think this person, I do think that it's someone close to Nancy, has some affiliation with her. Or again, like I said, when Savannah was there in October at that Mexican restaurant with their mom, I'm sure the local news picked that up. Savannah, is in town. Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie was, at her home showing off, who she is and with her mother. That's national media picked it up. Obviously, Today's Show. I'm sure local media picked that up. It could have been a restaurant worker. It could have been, and think about this. It could have been someone dining at that restaurant that day while they were filming. Wow, that's Savannah Guthrie. I did not know she lived here at one point. Wow, I didn't know her mother lived down the street from me. This person could have went up and spoke to her that day at the restaurant. A person could have been at the restaurant, went home, told their family member, guess what? I was at the Mexican restaurant today, and guess who was there? They were filming a piece on Savannah Guthrie. Her mom lives here. I didn't know she was from here. Told that to her son, her nephew, her cousin. And that got the wheel turning. And they could have studied more about her. They were certainly watching. This is certainly premeditated. Obviously, they didn't pay the ransom because I get the second letter saying she's deceased. They didn't pay the ransom. Yeah. Nobody picked the house random. No, nobody picked the house randomly. Hell no. Somebody had to be familiar with the area, who knew she was out that night. I believe someone was in the home already before the porch guy came. It may be. Again, I think, another thing that makes me weird about Tommaso and Annie is I don't know how often Nancy went there to see them or have dinner or whatever, but it's just the night that she goes to dinner and is dropped off. A few hours later, she's being taken out of that house. That's very strange. It could have been someone employed by Nancy's doctors, or someone working in her insurance agent's office, or someone working as... It could be anyone. I mean, it could literally be anyone. But they certainly watch her, right? Again, if you look at this press conference or this press release that they did, it says that they, really was preparing to do this. They were watching her. So what would be their motive? That's, again, it could be anything from money, right? It can be anything from money to they knew something that they didn't want her to put out or say or do. Someone could have loaned her, she loaned money and they didn't, promise to pay it back, didn't pay it back at that time. So they unalived her. It can be a lot of different things. Christine, how you doing, gorgeous? Thank you so much for the finger heart. Love your new pictures, by the way. Beautiful, friend. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I think Sheriff Doofy and the inexperienced detectives blew the case in the beginning. Fact, I agree. The fact that they said they didn't fully grasp the seriousness of her medical condition means they had to know of her or know her. That they had to know of her or know her. But I don't think it's family. I still think it could be either way. I think you're more likely to be unalived by someone you know or affiliated with, right? No way a woman who could barely walk gets out of the car and inside in 2 minutes. He would have to have helped her out of the vehicle. I don't know. I think it varies. I would like to know how often Nancy had. Me too. Big question. Love to know that. They need to draw a double take of the car coming out of the area at the time into the main street, and they did that with Goldberger. Yep. Someone with power has to be involved for it to not be solved yet, in my opinion. There's too much technology. But here's the thing, actually, Ashley. I like your name, by the way. And I love Texas. Here's the thing. We're getting these reports about the Wall Street Journal of just how grossly incompetent they were. The plane that they were going to put up in the air, the pilot didn't know how to work the cameras. They could have been, tracking every car with these cameras and all that. So it's, with the blood, I think it's just incompetence, in my opinion, in the beginning. Julie, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, babe. Thank you for your support. You got bunny rabbits? I love rabbits. I just have a bunch of rabbits. Thank you so much, my dear. If you look, there's a motive for everything. However, the evidence is what backs motive theories. Was it customary for Nancy to take an Uber to Annie's home? Or was this a one-time thing? If once, then the Uber sets an alibi that she left her home that evening in the first place. Great question. I don't know. It seems like she, knew what she was doing, I guess, with, paying the Uber and stuff. So I don't know. It's, thank you, Joanne. Good to see you, my dear. Really appreciate the floating heart. Good to see you. Hope Floats, thank you for the floating heart, my dear. Appreciate that very much. Yes, guys, please hit that thumbs up button. We got 600 people watching right now. Hit the thumbs up button, whichever one you're in. By the time FBI forensic teams collected any evidence, the scene will totally be contaminated. No way any DNA will break the case. I think it can still break the case. I just think it's going to be really difficult in court. Justin, is the video of F, the Kia Soul, still on your playlist? I'm going to look at that video again and slow it down, especially the second car going the opposite direction. I hope you do. The video of F. What's F? F on the Kia. So I think I still have that video. I don't know if I have it on my playlist. I think I might have it though. I believe in the FBI would have been led into Nancy's 2 to 3 days earlier, we wouldn't be talking about the case right now. Oh, 1,000%. And I it wouldn't surprise me when all is said and done if Savannah and the Guthrie family don't sue the pants off of them.
It was stuff we had already heard, but I thought it was interesting that he said that about the family, just because he's kind of been all over the place on the issue of whether everyone's still on the table, or now it seems everyone's still on the table except for the family members who he says are victims. And again, just my own reporting based on not the sheriff, but other sources I have in the investigation. The family is not being looked at as being involved. But just interesting that he's kind of been all over the place the last couple of days. So they also put out this really long media release over the weekend when it was the 6-month mark, basically telling people, which is something that the FBI profilers I've been interviewing have been saying for a while, but telling people to be on the lookout for anyone who's doing strange things.
Okay.
They've written the notes, normal routine.
Question. Guys, can you think of any cases that had a ransom note other than Nancy Guthrie and JonBenet Ramsey in recent history since 1995? The fact that Cameron jumped to the conclusion about the kidnap for ransom before the letters gives me pause. Not saying he's involved. See, I don't think it was, I mean, I think Cameron said it, but I think he was relaying what Annie and Tommaso told him. Cal Ripken's mom? Cal Ripken mom. Ransom note. When Cal Ripken Jr.'s mother, V. Ripken, was abducted in Aberdeen, Maryland on July 2012, no ransom note or ransom demand was ever made. That's what I Googled. It doesn't say. No, but I don't know of any other ransom notes besides those two. It just doesn't happen. And you guys know I have a little bit of a tie with the JonBenet Ramsey case. And I don't have an opinion on JonBenet Ramsey case. But that's one thing that really I question is that ransom note, that nobody does 2 pages of a damn ransom note. I'm still dumbfounded. Thank you, Joanne. Appreciate you. I'm still dumbfounded about the evidence not collected. I know. It's fucking ridiculous, man. As however they would say not to report to police. Yep. Yep. Hey, the Mex Italy couple. Good to see you, babe. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for the floating heart. Really appreciate you. Good to see you. Back in the 60s, there was Hattie Hearst. Yeah. But see, back then they didn't have the technology that they have now. Nobody does the ransom notes anymore.
Changes, vehicle cleaning or repairs, unexplained interest or disinterest in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood.
I need to fast forward this now. Right here.
His wife is actually a forensic linguist. Her name is Natalie Schilling. She is a professor at Georgetown and just brilliant, just like him. So they're actually both going to join me and have really
I've not heard of
interesting
them.
insight into these 2 notes. And I want you to hear everything they have to say, because there's so much that I would have never noticed.
Fitz and Natalie, it's really nice to see you. I was very excited when Fitz said that you would be joining us, Natalie, and the fact that you're a forensic linguist. I'm really, really interested in everything that that you have to say about these notes and kind of where we're at with the Nancy Guthrie investigation. And I know you and Fitz have been talking about all of this stuff behind the scenes since the beginning, really. So I'm interested to hear what you have to say, and as always, what Fitz has to say. I just wanted to start, Fitz, because I thought about this when when the sheriff's office put out this news.
Are they psychics, Teresa? Are they psychics? That's what I just looked up. Everyone has their thing and all that stuff, but I personally just don't do psychics and true crime. That's just me. That's just how I work. They're not. It says the one I Tessa and Nick Groff. It says psychic medium looks into the Nancy Guthrie case. What happened? They're going to decipher the ransom letters. They're not psychics. Okay. I've never heard of them. So it's a psychic medium, and I'm just kind of like, whenever I see that, I'm just usually out when it comes to true crime. I'll listen to it though. Yes, I'm the same way, but it caught me by surprise. Okay, I'll look at it. Okay, Holly, thank you for that. No, I'm not talking about the guys on the screen. I'm talking about these guys.
Release on Friday about the 6-month mark, and went through and talked about what you should look for in a person who may be involved: a change in mood, a change in physical appearance, injuries, sudden departures from the area, unexplained interest or disinterest in Nancy Guthrie. I had this flashback. This is literally exactly what you said, Fitz. And I remember you actually reached out to me that time and said, you need to do this episode. And this was like, I don't know, 4 months ago or something. You need to do this episode where you tell people what to look for in the person who could be responsible and changes in behavior.
That's the wild thing about this case, right? Is I've never seen a case with such contrasting reporting, and I have said this from jump. This person will have this source and will say family is likely involved. This person will have this source and they will say no, family's not at all involved. This person will say this person will say that, and nobody agrees on this case. And because you just never see a case like this at all.
So we did the episode, and it's literally exactly what the sheriff's office is doing now. And I'm just wondering, first of all, do you think, is this a little late on their part, or what do you think of the timing of this?
Yeah, and
I do think now that and I, because Pima County really screwed up in the beginning, I think we can all agree on that. I think now they have to really save face because they have a ton of pressure on them. And so I do think that they are finally, hopefully, really working this case. Really working this case hard because of the epic failures in the beginning. At least I hope so.
Brian, first of all, thanks for having me on. And just full disclosure, Natalie is also my wife, besides a great forensic linguist. We met at Georgetown years ago, and I know we'll hear more from her later. But and Brian, not only was I suggesting about the pre-offense, post-offense behavior, to use the jargon of the profiling trade, but I also said over the last month on multiple media hits, including I think yours the last time we talked, that the 6-month anniversary opens up a lot of doors. It's if not psychological, it's just sort of a calendar, sort of benchmark time frame that if you really haven't gone anywhere in the case, it's time to perhaps release some more information. I did 2 hits on Friday morning, one on Friday morning, GT. One Friday afternoon, and about 2 hours after the second hit, these documents come out, these 2 emails. So I'm not going to get into too late. Look, in the Unabomb case, we debated whether we should publish the manifesto or not. And that was a big debate. I was one of the first one. We may have discussed this from the movie 12 Angry Men. First one, I think we should publish this thing and get it out there. Someone's going to recognize the writing style. I had a lot of pushback at first, but finally it...
Okay, got a question. Because I don't want my opinion to reflect what you guys vote on this, but do you think the ransom letter is from two different people, meaning not porch guy? Yes and no. Okay, now this is assuming they're legit, and I believe that the ransom notes are legit, the first two. But do you see what I'm saying is, do you see porch guy writing these notes? Right? I think it's someone else. So I would say yes. I would say yes, personally. But I don't want that to reflect on you guys. Yes, but they are in cahoots. Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. Yeah. So Baby Kisses, Baby Kisses voted no. So do you think, in your opinion, is this... You think the porch guy wrote this, just lone wolf kind of thing? I think they're from one person, possibly porch guy. So you would say no. I think it's two different people. I just don't, the vibe that I get from him, I just don't see him as saying perished. I just don't I don't get him as saying she perished, she any of that. I just don't. In my opinion, the person is hired. It very well could be. I think I answered wrong. That's a good claim. You might be able to fix your vote. Just revote. It'll probably fix it. Hey, preschool granny, good to see you. I think the notes were possibly chat AI from another language translation. You know, I've wondered about that myself, but then I look at it and I'm thinking received is spelled wrong in one of them. Now, there are people that say AI can spell things wrong. I've not had AI spell anything wrong. Just me. So to me, I don't know. I don't know. Tasha, thank you so much for the Sunday love. Really appreciate you. Very kind of you. Thank you so much. It's strange. Most people are saying the second one is most likely a female. So who is our female? I mean, it sounds very feminine, right? Sounds very feminine. It does. You know, it's like, I wonder if this guy's girlfriend, wife, is helping out. I don't feel like it's AI. I don't, but a lot of people do. A lot of people do. I do feel like this person is definitely bilingual. English may not be his first language. I feel like he does not have a strong connection in Tucson as well. I don't think that this guy has this big family in Tucson. But I could be wrong. I don't even think the porch guy, the injury or injuries, I think he was the helper assistant. I don't think the brains was at the scene. Porch guy assisted the person in the home. See, I don't. For me, if they have pictures of this guy or another person, two people taking Nancy out on cameras or showing up there, why wouldn't they put if there's another guy there at the scene, why wouldn't they put his picture out? You're twice as more likely to find them, at least one of them. You get what I mean? So I don't think that there was more than one person in that house. Now, there could have been someone in a car or something like that, but I don't think they were in the house doing this, in my opinion. The words buried in nature, who speaks like that? So strange. Very strange. And that also makes me think that this person, English may not be the first language. I think the first note addressed, hello, Savannah, is from a Guthrie. Second note addressed to the Guthrie family is someone outside the family, in my opinion. Yeah. AI can speak like that. Sure can. It sure can. But I just don't think it's going to say buried in nature.
It was all agreed upon. Then it took a few months, and we finally published it on September 19th of that year. There's been a few other cases like that. So
this is one of the cases where it could go any way, and nothing is ruled out. In my opinion, nothing.
Sometimes there are tactical reasons for holding information back, but they did it exactly right. They put it looks like the two emails, I'm calling them Q1 and Q2. We can get into that in a little bit, but they didn't just transcribe them and perhaps lose something with a punctuation or even spacing after a period, formatting. So they redacted the sender's address, which is fine. And they redacted one last line, which is probably the Bitcoin address. And that's fine too. This way, if this person recontacts them, they will know they're talking to the same individual, as opposed to copycats, which there are probably going to be some copycats coming in this weekend, I'll bet, who claim they're the person who wrote this. So I don't think it's too little too late. I think they had to time it for a logistical, if not tactical perspective.
Weird.
And they did it at the 6-month point. I think we're fine. Now, whether, and I'll make this a little clearer in a few minutes.
Oh, yeah, I mean, absolutely. The FBI could have more videos. Sheriff Nanos said they have over 10,000 videos that they are combing through. I think they knew more than they're saying, probably very embarrassing for Savannah. You think so? Like, are you, like, alumni, are you insinuating like it could be family? Is that what you mean? If they used AI that can't be traced, you would think it could, Becky. You would think so. Oh, I would believe anything anymore. Not a dang thing surprises me. I can't get out. A dang mom who ate a kid. Oh no. What the hell's wrong with people? People are... First note said we will unalive her by a deadline. Second note said she perished straight away. Yeah, it did. It did. I think they were just trying to get the money without showing proof of life, in my opinion, in the very beginning. And they knew she was dead. Until they said, we want proof of life. That's when the note came out. And that's when Savannah said, okay, we understand you, but we still need to bring our mother home. And we're willing to pay. If someone used AI to create the message, don't mean that they used the entire thing. They probably used segments and reworded it their way. It's very possible. Very possible. I do think the first letter was pre-written. I absolutely do, because of the dates. There was an extra day. apparently didn't count the days correctly. There are thousands and thousands of AI models now. Some are 100% standalone, meaning they are not connected to the internet at all and not trackable. How would it not be connected to the internet? I will say the FBI isn't hardly involved anymore. Kash Patel stated that himself last night. Trump clearly said, we are around, but the local sheriff is the one wanting to be handling it. Yeah, I've got some news on that we're going to go over just a little bit.
I'm still not convinced these two emails we're going to discuss today are, in fact, the kidnapper. And I'll run some hypotheses by you shortly. So all our goal is today with me and Natalie, to your audience, let's try to find out.
Oh, thank you, Drag Time. Appreciate you. Thank you for the butterfly. Oh, I was thinking about a whole different type of Drag Time. Thank you so much, honey. Appreciate you very much. Just kidding. He was a violent offender to punch her in the face. If he did that, I mean, he's violent just to take anybody out. You know what I mean? Thank you so much, Drag Time. Appreciate you. Does an AI need to be connected to the internet? That's from as far as I know. Yes, it does. It's 100% on your system if it can just do live data. It just can't do live data, but it can write notes, make videos, pics, etc. without internet. I've never seen that. At first note, I believe English, definitely not the first language. Great. Yeah.
Who wrote these two emails using forensic linguistics? And you can be an amateur because we all speak language our whole lives and read it, most of us. And that's what our goal is today, to pinpoint some very, I'll just say idiosyncratic and unusual features. I'm not going to use the word unique, which literally means one of a kind. I know Natalie won't either. There's been a few cases we worked where we had something one of a kind, but this quite isn't it. So look, I've been very cautious about criticizing the investigators. I always say at the top of these things, the bosses go at each other sometimes with egos and narcissism, whatever, but the worker bees tend to get along just fine.
Now think about this, and he's so right. Think about this, guys. Sheriff Doofy has the biggest ego in a small little man package ever. It's so bad. We need 150 more thumbs up. Come on, guys, hit that thumbs up. Double tap that screen.
Understanding the FBI agents that are still involved with the sheriff's deputies, investigators, they're working just fine. And to me, that's the most important. They all came together and so let's release this, perhaps timed with Savannah's statement from a day or two ago, and I think even a more recent one. So I think the timing, to me, I would argue, is perfect right now.
This last month has been so crazy. I've been on the road so much for work. And back food, meat, records, you can see I've been open. Criminals, they can roll you have who may have written the note, and it sounded like a very targeted message to the person who may have written the notes. Then we had this release and the release of the notes, and then there was another Savannah message. I guess it was yesterday on the 6-month mark.
Hey, Jen,
do you think, Fitz,
you?
that this is all? Is this all part of like a strategy,
Hey,
like one
Thorne.
strategy? You think?
It is, and I don't want to take away from Savannah. I have no doubt they are 95% her words, her sentiments, her feelings. She means what she says when she's looking into the camera. But I would be very surprised if my former colleagues in the behavioral analysis unit in Quantico with the FBI were not involved in at least tightening it up and, just some nuanced features. Maybe hold off on this part, maybe put this part in and take it from there. So it is coordinated, but I have no doubt it is genuinely directly from Savannah's heart and that of her family too.
Okay, so let's dive into the notes now. And I remember you saying it was
Getting ready to
difficult
talk about
until
the backpack
we
in just a
had
second.
the hard copies, which you said there's a couple minor redactions, but for the most part, we can really see what they are now. I guess with both of you, what was your first impression when you got both notes?
And let me just start with this. I want to go through these hypotheses, but First of all, I was glad to see them. Second of all, I said, hey, this is just what I do. I know it's what Natalie does, and we'll hear from her in a few minutes. But I just want, for your audience sake now, and this is not that different from what perhaps was intimated before when I was with you, Brian. But I just want to say what we're going to try to do today is work under 3 hypotheses. And I would say only one of them is going to be accurate when this case is finally resolved. And the first hypothesis is that the masked perpetrator who abducted and wrote the emails did it for kidnapping/profit purposes. So that's one way. So the masked perpetrator also wrote these emails because it's legitimate kidnapping, which are the rarest of the rare in the US, even in North America. But that's hypothesis 1. Hypothesis 2, the masked perp did the abduction, wrote the emails, but it never was really a legitimate kidnapping. It was done as a smokescreen and a misdirection to throw off the investigators. And the last hypothesis is that this masked perpetrator, I keep calling him, had nothing to do with these 2 emails. He did the abduction for whatever reason, and someone else, an opportunist, undertook these sending off these 2 emails the day after the abduction, February 2nd, which other hypothesis that would fit. The masked guy wrote these, and 2 hypotheses, because he really wanted the money. The masked guy wrote these, doesn't care about the money at all, had some other personal agenda, and just used that as a smokescreen. Or the masked guy did it and then had nothing to do with the emails, and someone else, an opportunist from Tucson, from the US, from overseas, wherever. So our goal is here, Brian, regardless of one of those hypotheses, which one turns out to be true, we still want to try to identify the author, just like we did in the Unabomber case.
I'm kind of just personally leaning towards hypotheses 1 and 2. I am very convinced by the line in the first email about the location of the Apple Watch and the broken floodlight. And I know some people have said, oh, but someone could have seen the crime scene was opened up for a little bit. And just the thought that some stranger would be back behind her house or flying a drone that early on and have seen the broken floodlight and somehow know, and also how would they, I'm more and more convinced that these are real. That's just my personal feeling.
And Brian, you may know better than me, but I don't know if the authorities ever officially acknowledged, yes, the smartwatch was found at the foot of her bed.
No.
Okay.
They haven't. But they have acknowledged that there were things from early on, that there were things in the letter that made them believe that it was real. So they didn't say, oh, there were some things and some were right and some were wrong. And Savannah said the same thing in her interview when she did it with Hoda. So I think those things are right.
And that, and there've been, like you said, there were first responders there and others. There's video of her, of Nancy from a couple years ago wearing the watch. She did a tour of her bedroom on video with Savannah once. Just, fun mom and daughter things, very normal stuff, except she happens to be Savannah, a very successful and wealthy TV personality. So yeah, you're right. 1 and 2 could very well be where this would lean, not both, one or the other, I would say. And we'll see how it plays out. But the bottom line is, let's try to identify the author of this communication.
I was having technical trouble behind the scenes. It wouldn't pull up. I was sorry about that. Okay, got it. There were a lot of people on day 2, including drone flyers. So very likely someone flew and looked in window. Nancy kept blinds open. Well, they were there on the 11th. They were on the porch the 11th. Okay. I want to talk to you guys about this, by the way. Okay, where are we at on this poll? Do you think the ransom letter is from 2 different people, meaning not the porch guy? 88% of you guys say you think it's someone else, maybe linked to porch guy, and 12% say no. Very interesting, guys. Very, very interesting. Okay, so I'm going to show you video of porch guy. Okay, I had to block out the pew pew here. 1 second. My computer is not liking me tonight, y'all. Okay, So let's take a look at Porch Guy here. Let me make myself a little smaller. I want to talk about his backpack. Porch Guy's backpack. Right? Let's look at that backpack. That backpack is really, really filled, isn't it? And my question is, what do you guys think is in the backpack? What is sound it off in the comments? I think this is a KILL kit, in my opinion. Giggle says, I still say a drone, a field of flowers, a tarp, some sort of tarp, tools. So I was looking up what people normally, people put in a KILL kit. Has he been inside? We don't know. We don't know at this point. But I can say that what people normally put in a KILL kit is sometimes it can be a change of clothes, but I think he's got 2 change of clothes on, in my opinion. He can also have spare gloves, right? Flashlight, batteries is what is often in a KILL kit, but he has the mouth light. We can't forget that, right? He's got the mouth light. So probably not that. Small tools, even cameras, blankets or large coverings, i.e. a tarp. They can even have a phone in there, personal items. And then let's see here. I wish we had more video, right? Because it would be interesting to see if this guy, if he came out with, for instance, when he comes out. Hey, Miss Eureka, good to see you. Walkie talkie, seeking justice. A lot of people said that. A lot of people's like two-way radio. But is the backpack when he comes out, if he comes out, I'm sure he does, is it filled less than it is? Because it's pretty full right here. Right? That sucker in full, but it doesn't look heavy to me. And, I was thinking about this as well. I mean, he's clearly got this on for a reason, right? But think about when you've worn a backpack. Go back to your school years or whatever. Like, it really kind of constrains you, doesn't it? Hey, Carla, good to see you. What's in the backpack is a drone, maybe an exchange of clothes, maybe a laptop. Could be. If you look down here, let me make this big. Take a look down here, like it's something is, you see how it's like bulging right here as well? And then you can see something right here as well. There could be rope in it. If we could only see the camera images. Yeah, I know that would be freaking amazing. But the question would ask, would it look fuller or less fuller when he comes out? Also, did he carry it differently when he was leaving the house as well? Backpacks are timeless accessories, yes. If she was alive and walked out on her own, why would she not scream or make noises? I don't see her going quietly if she was alive. It just depends. It just depends. You know, a lot of people think, and I've really wondered this myself. Oh, thank you so much, Carla. Thank you so much. That makes my day. Thank you. Maybe tarp, no drone, but if two people, I'd say a patient lifting, transporting sling. Yeah, I mean, I think a tarp would probably do that as well, right? In the earlier date pic without the backpack, where is the pic as there are cars in the background? See, you know, a lot of people say they see cars in the background. I don't see cars, in my opinion, but a lot of people do. You're definitely not the only one. I like the smell of like the notebooks and the pencils and all that. Your crayon box. If you look at the bottom, there's a rectangular shape. Yes. Gold bars or a small X. I don't know about gold bars. Wipes of some sort. That's, yeah, could be. Tarps don't have grip handles. They don't, but you can make it work. You can certainly make it work by you know, pulling it inward and using it like that, just like you do a sheet. Okay. Mine is Miss Sketcher Marks. Oh. Okay. Did he remove anything near the door? No. Could anything from the home fit inside? Well, yeah. Did the bag contain a change of clothes? I think he's got, tell me what you guys think. I think he's got a change of clothes. You can make it work, but a sling is way nicer. It is. It is. How about a Starlink adapter to run his drone on? Well, we don't know he has a drone. You know, that's just what's the word I'm saying? A theory, right? I don't personally think that there's a drone. I mean, there could be, but there could be a second face covering, right? It could be spare gloves, spare shoes, lightweight clothing that could be discarded, items connected to controlling a victim, right? If a planned abduction theory, investigators would naturally consider whether the bag carried items intended to restrict movement or maintain control. Now think about that, right? They're either going to want to restrict ropes or whatever, or maintain control. Now he's got a pew right between his legs there, and to me that's how he's maintaining control. So I think that what is in this backpack is either something to restrict, clean up, meaning it could be another set of shoes in there. I'm sure there's several different things in there. Zip ties, yeah, all of that. Justin, if you look at the backpack when the purple guy is walking towards, I mean the porch guy is walking toward the bush there, pick up the leaves, you could see there is a drone in his backpack. I don't know about that. You talking about this right here? Make it bigger. I mean, it certainly could. You know, it certainly could be something like that. Spray bottle for cleanup. Chloroform. I've been watching too much crime. Yeah. That's awesome, Carla. Justin, I sent you a picture of the perp wearing backpack. In my opinion, you can see the outline of a drone, possibly imprint from previous owner of backpack. I said, well, I mean, oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, look at this, guys. This is interesting. Let me show you this. Someone just sent me this. It could very well, I guess, be a drone. It's interesting. Check this out. It could be a drone. But I mean, what's the drone for? What would the looks like a drone with 2 prompts missing? I don't know. You know, a lot of things look like, you know, it's kind of like looking at clouds. Still don't look like an Ozark bag, do you? You could have been using it to look out. I mean, I guess anything is possible, but yeah, that's best chat here. Yes, sleuth. He wouldn't have time for a drone, in my opinion. I agree. It's not a drone. Those blades would trash and it would fly all wonky. See, that's what I would think too. To me, drones they're very lightweight and they're very, very plasticky and they're very easy to break. Trying to think, what else could it be? I don't know. The drone was to watch for when solar lights went off and after the drop up. Looks like a doll. Could have been for Wi-Fi scramble. I don't buy the Wi-Fi scramble. It's very difficult. If it was used as a camera, it wouldn't need to fly. What does that mean? I don't understand what that means. If it was used as I don't know. It's very weird. It could be just the way the bag is designed there. Yeah. Let me go back to this video. And you can see it. Let me do it like this. Let me do a screenshot. Here. One second here. See here, it's really hard to tell. But look at this. You guys see that? It almost looks like something round right there. You can tell, look at the outline of it, whatever it is. Yeah, I don't think it's a drone. Look at this. I do think it's the design of the backpack. I think it's how it's sewed. Look at this. It's sewn right around here. It's to give extra room. This is a zipper right there. You might have something in this zipper right there. See that? Every role, everything, cause there's a ton of students. Yeah. Yeah. You can clearly see how it's sewn. That's that extra pocket. There's the zip. He does have something in that pocket for sure, though. You know something? I just thought of this. Let me show you something. Look at this. Makes me wonder if it's like a tarp in there. Go look at drone backpacks. Maybe an automated. I don't think this guy's that intelligent. When they received that first ransom letter the next day, Savannah came out and spoke about the ransom. Why did she have to come out and say that? Why not just pay the ransom? Good question. Oh, by the way, do y'all know how they were talking? Do you know how they were talking to this guy? They were talking to him through the Bitcoin app or whatever. What if it's a student from ASU? That would not surprise me a bit. Ginger? Wouldn't surprise me a bit. Maybe a tarp and tarp rolls. Well, I was just thinking about how these tarps are like put, how they're like folded up. Let me see here. Let me show you. It doesn't take, a big tarp for a body. 8x10 commercial grade. Right? Carrie. I used to live there and go to school. Really? Tarps are large and well, I mean, an 8x10 is not. I'm already paranoid in these hospitals. No locks. Okay. So clearly something's in there. But I think it's the way it's sewn that makes it look like this shape. And then look at this right here. Make it bigger. Turn your head sideways like I do. Look at this. Something sticking out here. Right? Something that's heavier, right? You can tell that's heavier. That's more weighted. Whatever that is. It doesn't got a sharp corner on it. And then you can tell there's, weight around here as well. But look how fluffy this backpack is up here. Right? It's like lighter up here, but you can tell there's more weight at the bottom, which makes sense. Okay, Eagle. Thank you. Yeah, there's the fold-up drones, yeah. Let me show you this. I'm not convinced it's a drone, just my opinion. Pillow as a silencer. What she could, you could use your own pillow or her pillow for that. So Nancy was considered vulnerable and was difficulty walking, had a pacemaker, and required daily medication. That could be relevant when considering whether the individual expected to physically assist, support, or control her movement. Did the person arrive carrying something intended to control Nancy or something intended to help move her? A blanket, a sheet, or other large folded textiles. A folded blanket, dark covering, protective sheet, or similar soft material could make a 25-liter backpack look very full without making it extremely heavy. Potential purposes investigators might consider include concealing a person from view, protecting a vehicle's interior. Think of that. That's interesting. Carrying or containing other objects. Changing the backpack's visible shape. This one is the better explanation for a bag that looks bulky rather than rigid. Camera or entry-related equipment. The FBI says individual appear to tamper with the front door camera. Investigators would likely consider whether the backpack held ordinary hand tools or electronic accessories connected to the act. Possible broad categories: small hand tools, lighting, adhesive or covering materials, batteries or a power source, electronic accessories, items used to carry or protect removed equipment. What makes me question this is think about could be, absolutely could be. Oh, we got 44K during this live. That's amazing, guys. Thank you guys for subbing up. I really do appreciate you guys. That's amazing. Ooh. The backpack doesn't appear to be weighted down with heavy stuff. To me, I don't think it's that heavy, but there seems to be whatever is more weighted is at the bottom. What's very interesting to me is, did this, remember when they said, is there a blackout? Right? Is there something in there, tools that could help black out the area? Thank you, Horsey. I assume they either received a new ransom note or they sent it to TMZ guy for a video. I don't think they drove far, so they only needed a tool for entry and a tarp, possibly rope. Yes, Jinja. If I didn't have, like, I had to build this channel because my J4A, they literally shut it down for a year. I would have over 100,000 subscribers right now. Yeah. Someone messed with lines outside. That would turn anything. What else do they say? Evidence containment supplies. A prepared offender could carry materials intended to prevent personal belongings or used clothing from being left behind. Investigators might consider spare disposable clothing, bags or containers, wipes or absorbent materials, extra gloves, a place to store used items. You know something? Trash bags. What about trash bags? Trash bags. Oh, yes, you could, girl. Yes, you could. You could. You absolutely could. All right, now, this is interesting. Was he carrying supplies to avoid leaving evidence or to contain evidence after he left? Electronics and communications. The backpack may have contained relatively ordinary electronic items, a phone or a secondary phone, charger or power bank, communication device. You know, we talk about the walkie-talkies, the scanners, all of that. Navigation equipment, spare batteries, flashlight, or headlamp. He had a mouth light. I never even knew there was such thing as a mouth light until this case. What else do we got here? Personal supplies, water, food, rain gear, first aid supplies, personal medication, everyday belongings. I doubt if he took his medication. He didn't take her medication. Most likely, they say what is in these backpacks is additional clothing or disguise materials, spare gloves, and evidence containing supplies, a folded covering or textile like a tarp or a blanket or something, small tools or electronics, items intended to manage or control movement, personal supplies for whatever happened afterward. Very interesting. Blow up getaway car. Yeah, a little clown car. I can see him. I'm making a joke out of it. I shouldn't do that. Just to lighten it up, though, I was thinking, you just said a blow up getaway car. I was thinking like a clown. You know how they make they tie the little balloons and stuff, making him a car, a magic carpet. Well, so far, he's got everyone puzzled, and I hate that. Not saying it's T, but if it was, he would not be caught on camera, in my opinion. Not even near the house. And I think that's a fair point, right? But this is the thing as well, right? Think about this. On the 11th, why didn't this guy remove the camera? Why didn't he remove the doorbell camera on the 11th? Does Annie have cameras at her home? I think so. We do. Sure do. So, that's the question, right? Wait 45 minutes. So what took so long to wake her up and walk out? Well, Kitty, this is the thing. The 45 minutes, it doesn't mean inside the home, right? The 45 minutes starts when they're on the property, right? Seems like this person was definitely, which we know this person was definitely in the backyard and was definitely in the front yard, right? We know he was in the backyard because the lights in the backyard was torn off. He said so in the note. And we know he's in the front yard essentially because he's on camera. It was Sunday morning. She has a child too. What do you mean he has a child? Okay, that makes sense. Again, there is no timestamp on the video. We don't know if it was the night of her abduction. I believe it was the 11th, in my opinion. Why didn't the ransom letter say the back door and the back gate was propped open? Right. That's a good question, Rajui. That's a very good question. Right? They said that the watch. Let me go to that 1 second. We'll go to that right now. If I have it. Yeah, here we go. That's a good question. Very good question. She had a smart watch on the floor of the foot of her bed, and the white floodlight in the backyard was destroyed. But here they have something redacted. This is what I want to know now. They have one part. Why haven't they released this one part of this note? Right here. There is something that they're not telling us. Why? Yeah, and there was plant growth as well. Yeah. You can just tell it's a different night as well. Entered the back and propped door open. Then went round the front to disable the camera as if he entered that way, but went back around, then brought her to the front of the vehicle, pulling up. That's the Bitcoin address. You're right. Because I forgot about that. You guys are absolutely right. They initially put out the Bitcoin address, which I have that. Where is it? They originally put out the Bitcoin. So look at this. Is it on this one? Let me just upload it again. Look at this. This is the transaction to that actual Bitcoin address. Yes, Pima County Sheriff's Office forgot to redact the initial Bitcoin address. Yep. Bingo, Ratui. Look at that. They are so, again, incompetence. Like, I get it. That when I first started YouTube, I made a big blunder. The first year, I accidentally, I had a police report, and it had someone's social security number on it. Now, again, the police is supposed to redact that when they give it to us, but still, I should have checked that myself as well. But damn, they've had 6 months. They've had 6 months. You know what I mean? 6 months to do this. Let me say this. Can you imagine how much the F up on the case? This is the mother of a celebrity. I know. I think she was taken in a golf cart, and he used night vision goggles to get the next destination without lights. I mean, anything is possible. That wouldn't be my first guess, personally. I still feel like Ivan Miller had something to do with Nancy. Just my opinion. Who agrees or disagrees? You're not the first one that said that, Emma. Let me show you Ivan Miller for the y'all don't know. But I don't know if he was ever let me show you who Ivan Miller is. And to be honest with you, he could pass for a porch guy, in my opinion, sort of. But yeah, they completely messed that up. That's Ivan Miller. Just the way my mind works. I understand no one should get special treatment, but they do. Oh, they fucking do. Of course they do. Yes, they do. What kind of law enforcement officer would turn down help from the FBI, Cajun Navy, etc., to find people? A doofus. Daniel drives for who delivers from Tucson. I've been looking at, yeah, I thought you had Rachewy. I think just random doing his crimes. I don't think he's involved in Nancy. I don't think he was ever in Tucson, was he? I mean, oh, it's bad, Summer Breeze. It's so bad. Do you think it was because of me? But I believe there's more than one person. This guy was a killer on the run. Yeah. Yeah. Seems like others were on the run as well. But let me pull this up here and show you guys. Where was it? There is this thing that's out. Oh, let me show you about this about Trump, by the way, before we get into it, the next thing. I told you I would talk to you guys about that. President Donald John Trump weighs in on the Nancy Guthrie investigation amid criticism of Pima County Sheriff's Office. President Donald Trump weighed in the Nancy Guthrie investigation after a new report raised concerns about the Pima County Sheriff's Department efforts to find missing 84-year-old Nancy. Quote, some people haven't liked the way local community is running it. They haven't liked the way the sheriff runs it, Trump told reporters aboard Air Force One on Saturday, August 2nd, yesterday. The president comments regarding Sheriff Chris Nanos after the Wall Street Journal published an article. I don't think it'll let me pull that up. You gotta. Okay. Published an article on Saturday, August 1st that listed mistakes made by Nanos and his team. Quote, we should like to give them the benefit of the doubt. Trump says, we would like to give them the benefit of the doubt. We're there anytime they need us. We're there anytime they need us well. It's a terrible thing, Trump continued. He also confirmed that the FBI is currently, quote, involved to an extent, end quote, despite the local community really running the investigation, he says. What do you think about that? I am too, Rachewy. What do you think about that? He says the FBI is there to an extent. The FBI Phoenix is involved. I mean, FBI is FBI, just different offices. But what does that mean? What is going on? Phoenix FBI. Okay. Why are you sorry, Summer Breeze? They found a 66-year-old woman unalive behind the church. Yes. Yep, they sure did. Trump wants to sound involved, but he's so far removed from the case, with the exception of the Nanos, in my opinion. They have been for a while, but it sounds like they're not as involved as it's a state and local case. It's so frustrating, man. So frustrating. Like, how the hell? Okay. Got some more stuff. Oops, wrong one. Brand new.
Like, I think the timing is interesting. Look, we already knew most of the contents of these notes, but it's interesting they were taking the notes seriously. Remember, Reuters had that report that they thought the notes were fake. We've been reporting that for the most part, the FBI thinks the notes are real. I think this backs up that they are taking them seriously and believe that they could very well be legitimate, or they wouldn't be releasing them like this. The tone of the two notes is so different, Blake. The first one, just horrific and basically threatening to kill Nancy. And then the second one, just, it almost seems like it was written by a different person. Essentially, it's an apology. And a few new things we learned today, Blake, quickly, that from the sheriff's office, they're confirming the video that we've seen from the front Ring doorbell camera. We reported this early on. They're now confirming that the video is from different nights, that the person was out there likely scoping out the place.
Boom. Again, 2 different nights. He was they confirm that he was scoping out the place, getting things prepared
ahead of the abduction. And they're also now asking people to come forward who may know someone who was talking strangely about Nancy Guthrie, who's now avoiding the neighborhood, who has unexplained injuries like cuts or bruises, a change in physical appearance, who was cleaning their vehicle in a strange way. They've never gone to this extent to put this kind of a list out and ask people to come forward if they know anyone who meets those qualities. So I thought that was interesting. That just came out today.
Yeah, Rob, the sheriff's office also goes on to say these communications reveal distinctive patterns of word choice, syntax, and phraseology that reflect the writer's unique linguistic style.
Yes, there were cameras inside, Teresa. There were absolutely cameras inside Nancy's house. And they just got, the cameras inside just got thumbnails of a little bit of video right before the police showed up, or while they were showing up. I think that's what it said. How do we know that the video was on 1/11 but don't know the date of porch guy coming up on the porch? What do you mean, Babs? The porch guy came up on 1/11 and 2/1. We know the dates. They just finally released that. There was, talk about it could be 2 days, but they did confirm it in the press release, if that's what you mean. SG went after YouTubers in the latest one, but not after the sheriff's office, who is messing up her mother's case. Just my opinion. I agree. I think she's doing that strategically, though, right now, in my opinion. Why she is doing this, I think she will deal with Pima County later. What about the deleted videos? Well, we don't know if they were, there was no subscription, so they went back and through the metadata and got this video. You are not invisible. We have nobody invisible here, Lady Biker. That's the first time I've seen you, though, this evening. Sometimes YouTube will filter your messages if you say certain things, so that might be why. She's taking it out of the wrong people. I know she's her, but Lord help. Yeah. After photo and video of porch guy, Nanos kept saying no date and timestamps, but when the FBI released it, they said the dates and now confirmed today. Correct. I didn't see that comment at all. Yeah, they filter a lot. When I use my phone to do a live stream, it filters out the stupidest messages. I was hours late. He didn't see me either. Kelsey, to the office, please. You're being paged. Kelsey, to the office, please. You're being paid. We need a late slip for Miss Kelsey. She is very late, mods. Nearly 3 hours. I will deal with you, girl. Justin, I just posted your comment on screen earlier. Justin posted your comment on screen earlier, Goose. Yeah, I seen Goose. No, I put your thing on the front earlier. I had to go to a different browser than Chrome. I was invisible too. I think Tube does not like certain electronic. They specifically don't like Apple, in my opinion, allegedly. Yeah. Yeah. But who am I? Who am I? You know. Who am I? Moving on here. Talking about those ransom, right? The thing that's very weird, right? Ransom, real ransom versus staged ransom. Are these letters staged? Real ransom, they generally contact family directly, right? Contact the family directly. But with, what's wrong with my computer? But with staged ransom, they go to the media, right? Usually ransom is, but they did say the police will not be able to help you in this ransom note. Demand payment quickly. They delayed contact and they said 7 days. 7 days. Yes. Yes. She will have to say after class and help Mr. Justin redact documents. Oh, I'm going to put her to work. I don't understand the type. Silent Savannah should be saying something about the way her mom's case has been handled. It's, I mean, to be fair, we don't know if she's said anything privately or not. She doesn't talk to Nanos, so in my opinion, I think that she's probably dissatisfied. I don't think anybody could not be dissatisfied. Remember, the ransom note was read out by Crime Junkie Brianna, so this isn't new. Correct. But they delayed contact nearly 36 to 48 hours afterwards, and they payment within 7 days. You got to get, this guy's is going to get back to his life in 7 days. Sounds like he works 5 days a week. Focused on transaction, right? Shaping a storyline. You know, she died. She's in nature. Sorry. Wants a fast exchange. Buys time and confusion. Misdirection, narrative control. When it doesn't act like a real ransom, suspicions grow. I was really sorry if this has been discussed, but what do y'all think Savannah meant by "we did our part"? I used to think this video that she did went to Sheriff Doofy, not really the ransom guy, but now I do feel like it's the ransom to the guy. And I think she's like, we contacted you, we did our part, we're willing to pay, but he hasn't gotten back in contact, right? And this is the other thing, right? Like, if this guy really thought this out, if the motive was ransom, let's think about that a second. This guy is asking for $4 or $6 million. Okay. Savannah says, sure. Just let us know she's alive, right? Show us that you are the real guy. He comes back with the note and says, we're sorry. She died very shortly after we took her. We didn't realize she was as delicate as she was. We wish you peace. Bye. Savannah comes out with this video. We understand, but we still need our mother back. And we're willing to pay. That should perk up his ears. If it was true ransom money that they were looking for, if they got her back dead or alive, obviously they want her back alive, but they still want her back. And the guy still gets money. But he's not saying anything. So why is he not getting the money? You can say, well, he's probably afraid that he's going to get caught. Evidence on the body or whatever. But if Nancy was alive, she could talk and say what she lived through, what she noticed, what she heard, what she seen, what she felt. So it doesn't make sense to me. He wanted money so bad in the beginning. Now he has a change of heart on the money. Nope, not buying it. I agree. I mean, unless he just canned it all and is like, man, this is just way bigger than I thought it was ever going to be. Not only have I got the world media on me, I've got every social media platform talking about me. I'm trending on X constantly. FBI's, former investigators, cops, detectives, YouTubers, TikTokers, Twitter, X, whatever, Facebook, Instagram, they're all. But if money was if ransom was the real deal, why not just take the money? Say where she's at. To be quite frank with you, if she's buried in nature, it's been a half of a year. There is probably no DNA left of him on her left. DNA doesn't last very long in the elements, right? But you could also think, well, does this, wherever she is buried, will it, possibly give a clue to who this person is, right? Yeah, I think this letter was truly a distraction. I think they would have, taken. I clearly think that they would have taken the money in the beginning because they gave a Bitcoin address, right? We can't deny that they gave a Bitcoin address, so they clearly wanted money. But I don't think that if they gave him money, they still, I don't think, would have told. I still don't think they would have told. You know, and a lot of people's like, well, why shouldn't, you know, she should have just put the money in there. Well, just because you put the money in there doesn't mean she's going to be found. This guy's got to talk. Or, you know, if he transfers it in a bank account, you'll find him. But I think this guy's younger. I don't think he's 20. But I do think he's, you know, younger than 40. I think he knows about, you know, cryptocurrency. And he's got to be scared as a mofo. Do you think after the ransom wasn't paid, G died knowing known one cared and she wasn't just giving up? Do you think after the ransom wasn't paid and Nancy died knowing known one cared? Oh, do you mean like they would just give up, like nobody cared, move along kind of thing? Maybe. If I was kidnapped and I'm 84 years old and stuff would rather be dead. I mean, wouldn't even wake nobody to wish I was alive and still tortured. He's younger than mid-30s. I think mid-30s too. Yeah. He's a teacher more than likely. You think so? We were talking last night. Do you think that this guy is like Native American? Before the ransom, how much did Savannah Guthrie offer? A laughable amount. Well, they put like, how much was it in the, what was it, like $300 or something like that? I mean, I think Savannah, I mean, I don't think the money's the issue. I've lost sleep these last 6 months. I'm not sure what to think. I just pray it is solved and justice for Nancy. There's no proof that Savannah has paid anything. Yeah, I think the FBI put like less than $300 in. Yeah. Can you imagine the president saying that about you? Yeah. Bad. An 84-year-old woman with health issues would be no benefit to kidnap. Well, it's like 84 years old. We didn't realize she was as, you know, in poor health as she was. You either are lying, you didn't know, you didn't do your research, if you don't know her. And she's 84. I was thinking 2,500 to 3,000. No. In my opinion, I think the person lives close to Nancy's home. I do too. I think they live very close. Me too. I want Nancy to come home. Yeah, me too. I know a creepy teacher there and he's native. Patty, I agree. Or they know someone who lives close. Yeah. Hey, Sammy, good to see you. Like under 2 miles, Uber travel. It's close. I think it's close. I think that they saying back in Tucson, I think we should look at the opposite of that. In my opinion, I think it's just to throw everybody off. to spend Bitcoin in the physical world, eventually move funds through the bank's credit cards and prepaid card networks. The FBI monitors these financial off-ramps, which require, the only way you're getting it out from in a financial, like real monies, is you got to put it into some sort of bank account. How about the big white box truck from the house down the street, where it's been parking with no tags on it and a green line on it? I'm not real convinced of it, to be honest with you. I think she's probably out in a desert somewhere not far out of town. On a BE special, he talks to DNA lady, forgot her name. She could take years to uncover certain types of DNA. I hope not. Yeah. Or you spend it, buy items with Bitcoin directly. Yeah, and that's true. That's true, right? Like, but how many people just buy stuff with Bitcoin? Like, who all takes Bitcoin? I mean, I'll be the first to tell you, I have no idea on this topic. I zilch about the Bitcoin. I've learned more in Bitcoin in this case than I knew prior, that's for sure. But like, can you, like with Amazon, let's say Amazon takes Bitcoin. Well, wouldn't they be able to track whose address that came from? But I think you can make different wallets as well. Who would carry a body across state lines? Ain't me. The further you go out, the more likely you're to get caught. First commercial Bitcoin purchase was in 2010 for a pizza. Today, that is 1, 10, 100,000, 10,000, 100,000. Really? You can transfer Bitcoin into multiple different accounts. Yeah, with different IPs. You can do microtransactions with. Yeah, now Russia, it would be very hard to track for sure. Any adversary. Justin, I don't know about Bitcoin either, but I know common sense just like you, right? You have a group of other people in connected devices. Yeah. We need someone to go into and see if there's any talk, Nancy. That would be interesting. Ain't me. I don't want the FBI knocking on my door. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you. You guys are amazing. I want you to know that. Special thank you to mods, members, everyone in chat. Really do appreciate your time. Russia or Dubai, it disappears. Was on and explained it. Oh, really? Randy, I need to look at that. I keep hearing rumors that Carlos' family members has a trucking business, but that is not confirmed. It would be interesting if he did. I would say whoever this is certainly involved in some sort of rugs, for sure. Yeah. I have him, Golden. I have him. Thank you, love. Appreciate you. Thank you, Thorn. Thank you, everyone. Really do appreciate you. Guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Good night, everyone, and God bless.